Alright, question 1. Given g of x equals 5x minus 8, determine. Alright, good afternoon, morning, night, gentlemen. Whatever time you're watching this video. Today we'll be doing mathematical functions or functions. Whatever. Now, number question 1, as I said, given g of x equals 5x minus 8. Determine I g of o or g of 0. Alright, g of 0 equals 5 times 0 minus 8. So 5 times 0, when time you times 5 by 0 or any number by 0, you always get 0. So 5 times 0 equals 0 minus 8. You carry 1 the 8 and you I have a minus 8. So g of o equals minus 8. Alright, that is that. Now let's get to I. The g of negative 2. G of negative 2 equals 5 minus 2. 5 negative 2 minus 8. So 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. When time you multiply a positive number by a negative number, you always remain with a negative number. You multiply them and you get a negative number, you leave a negative sign. So and you carry down the 8 and you add the two negative numbers, you add it, so you get negative 18 and you leave a negative sign. Now I. The value of x when g of x equals 0. What is the value of x when g of x equals 0? Alright, so we're going to find that out. So to start out, we're going to write determine the value of x when g of x equals 0. So first we're going to write, we got g of x equals 5 times x minus 8 equals 0. Right. So 5x minus 8 plus 8 equals 0 plus 8. The reason why I write it right this here is where and when I get the 8 from. I'm gonna try to get rid of this. So I'm gonna I'm gonna carry over this here and whatever I'm get 0 plus 8. Whatever I'm get to this, I'm gonna have that. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna have that. I'll cancel out that. Here's 5x equals 8. I have that. And when time you subtract, when time you positive or negative number, you subtract, say I have 0. I ain't even sign the greater number, but whatever. Here, now I'm gonna sign this. Anyway, equals 0 plus 8. So 5x equals 0. 5x equals 8, because 0 plus 8 is 8. And then we'll have 5x 0. Oh, yeah. We're going to turn it to a fraction. So 5x divided by 5 equals 8 over 5. Or 8 divided by 5. So we're going to cancel the 5x right here. So x to that equal to 1 over 3/5, because you cannot just leave it like this. You'd have to simple. You have to turn to a mixed number. So 5 into 8 goes 1 times, yeah. So 5 into 8 goes 1 times, remaining 3 over 5. Okay, I'll leave it the denominator. Now come down to 4. Question 1, 4. The inverse of g of x. Let g of x equal 5x minus 8. We're going to use y as an different something. So y as a different variable. So y equals 5x minus 8. Interchange x and y. We're going to change the x and the y. The x on the right side of y. So x equals 5y minus 8. So we're solving for y. So x equals 5y minus 8. So we'll bring over the 5y, and remember when I explained over here, so when I explain over here, so when time you carry over a number because equal sign always change. So same thing up here. So 5 times y equals 5 divided by x and 5y minus 8 equals x plus 8. So x plus 8 divided by 5 equals y. So the inverse of g of x equals x plus 8 divided by 5. Alright. So for the last part of question 1 is the inverse of g of 3. Determining the inverse of g of 3. So first we have to find it. Before we solve this, we have to find the inverse, and we have to find the inverse right here. The inverse right here. Alright. So the inverse of g of 3. Determining, so since the inverse of g of x equals x plus 8, then the inverse of g of 3 equals 3h plus 5. So 3h plus 5 equals 11. And so as I said, we cannot just leave it like this. We have to turn to a mixed number. So 5 into 11 goes 2 times, divided by remaining 1. So so the inverse of g of 3, the inverse of g of 3 equals 2 over 1/5. And then we'll come back over. Alright, we'll coming over to question 2. The question 2 is a similar question. It's just different signs and different numbers. But practically same thing. Functions, but different signs, different numbers, different answers. So the second half, the second, so the additional, over here should be subtraction, and over here should whatever. No, alright. Given hx equals 4x plus 1, determine h of 0 or h of o equal h of o or h of 0 equals 4 minus 0 plus 1. Oh, 4 times 0 plus 1, I mean. Sorry. So equal, alright, so h of o or h of 0 equals 4, 0 plus 1. So that plus 0 plus 1 that equal 1. Because you times the 4, you get rid of the 4 because you times the 4 by the 0, you're going to leave 0. You have to fit them myself. Oops. Now, h of negative 1. Similar to what we do up here, so, but from 0, we're going to use negative 1. So h and negative 1 equals 4 times negative 1 plus 1. So when your times are positive by a negative number, as I said, you're going to get 4 times negative 4. Because negative 1 are, if times a positive number by itself, you multiply, you leave the negative sign. So plus 1 minus 3. So, when you get a positive number and a negative number, you subtract and leave the sign of the greater number, so negative 3. No, the value of x when h of x equals 0. Similar, as I said, determining the value of x when h of x equals 0. We get 4x plus 1 equals 0. So 4x plus 1 minus 1 equals 0 minus 1. We're going to carry over this, and when time anything we do over here, so we do the same thing. So as I said, in positive number, you subtract, and you send, so that is greater. Anyways, so 4x equals negative 1, because 0 and negative 1, 0, no, negative 1, I mean. So 4x divided by 4, cancel out that, so just x equal negative 1 over 4, or negative 1 quarter. So negative 1 quarter.
This is 60,000 of those people, a crucial union to the movie industry.
The inverse of hx.
These are the people, these are the lifeblood of the
The
movie.
inverse of hx.
Is the reason anything gets made.
So let hx equals 4x plus 1. Interchange, as I said, the same thing we do, practically, but different signs, different numbers, different answers. So interchange x and y. H equals
on strike.
X.
60,000 members
No,
from
H
NFL
equals 4y plus 1. Solve for y.
What is the union so upset about? Pretty reasonable
H
stuff, you know?
equals 4y plus 1. So we solve for y, right? So as I said, with the carryover, we will carry over the 4 would have been times to divide, and would have been positive to negative. So h minus 1 divided by 4 equals y. So inverse of h x equals to h minus 1 divided by 4. Alright, the final part. H, the inverse of h over 1. The inverse of h of negative 1. Determine the inverse of h of negative 1. Since the inverse of h of x equals h minus 1, then the inverse of h of negative 1 equals equals negative 1 minus 1. So yeah, as negative 1 minus 1, two negative numbers, as I said, would equals to a positive number. No, your correction. It equals, you either add it up and you leave the sign and you get the negative 2 divided by 4. We cannot leave it at that because it can be simplified. Or that equal to the 2 negative 2, or that equal to negative 1. That equal to negative 1 over 2. So inverse of h of x, inverse of h of inverse of h of x, the inverse of h of negative 1 equals negative 1/2. Alright gents, so that's it, and I hope you understand functions or mathematical functions. My name is Ajani Stills, if you are wondering.
Nobody wants a strike. The members of IATSE want to work, but if they are going